Do you ever find yourself wondering what it's all for? What your destiny is? Or why you keep Googling how to fix your life only to get distracted by fighting raccoon videos at 3 a.m. in the morning? The majority of men these days lack a purpose or a why. They lack meaning. This is an absolute tragedy, but of course it doesn't have to be this way for you, because what I'm about to teach you will alleviate you of that feeling and ignite a spark that will fill you with motivation to fulfill your deepest desires. Procrastination will be a thing of the past once you implement the strategies that I'm about to give you in this video. Don't know what your destiny is yet? Well, don't worry, because I, your all-knowing, semi-qualified guide, am about to slap one so hard into your soul that it will stick like chewing gum to the bottom of a schoolboy's desk. Welcome, you magnificent dumpster fire of potential, to Man with a Plan, a new self-improvement channel where we develop ourselves from zero to hero. In today's video, we'll be looking at what purpose is, why it's so important, how to figure out your own purpose, and how to start on your path towards it. Purpose is the most important first step for anyone on the road of self-development, because once we have a solid idea of what we want to achieve in this life, we are filled with the drive and the motivation to take the necessary actions to get there. It's a cheat code that essentially makes everything easier. Hitting the gym? Easy, because now it's not just leg day, it's destiny day. This is the first step in a journey that will transform you from a guy who orders Uber Eats 6 times a week into the guy who inspires strangers just by walking into a room. So buckle up and prepare to change your life forever. So, what exactly is purpose? You can think of it like a compass. It points you in the right direction, but you still have to do the walking. Or you can imagine yourself as a ship lost on a stormy sea. Purpose is the lighthouse out on the shore, guiding you to where you need to go. Without it, you're doomed. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Fascinating. Purpose is your ticket to transforming even the most soul-crushing ordeals into dramatic, meaningful montages. With a purpose, those grueling, mind-numbing 12-hour shifts at the factory start to feel like you're Rocky Balboa running up the Philadelphia steps. Your brain goes into survival overdrive. Eye of the Tiger starts blaring in your skull, pumping out resilience and motivational chemicals like an adrenaline shot to the soul, making even the darkest days feel like you're in a training montage, racing towards an epic comeback in the grand finale. Without purpose, though, life becomes the equivalent of the world's emptiest waiting room. You're just biding your time, waiting for the big sleep, nodding off to the soothing hum of dread. But with purpose, life becomes an adventure, a high-stakes chase for something real, something that feels like it was written just for you. If you aren't sold just yet, take a look at me. I wasn't always the man with a plan you see before you today. For most of my life, I was the bloke with no clue, stumbling through life like a drunkard, still trying to find the exit of a pub he left 3 nights ago. I was so lost that even Google Maps had given up on me. My early years were a tragicomedy of misfires. I'll spare you the life story for another video, and cut to the ending. I discovered that my purpose was to help others become the ultimate versions of themselves. And so here I am, a phoenix risen from the ashtray. I went from stalking life's corridors like a haunted mannequin to producing these world-class videos you see before you today. High-quality productions that make Avatar look like it was cobbled together with glue and cardboard by someone who lost a bet. I became successful, yes, but more importantly, I found a life that's meaningful to me. And it all started because I dared to ask that one simple question: why am I here? So, to very quickly recap, purpose is the legacy you want to leave behind. What do you want people to talk about at your funeral when they're pretending that they're sad? Purpose is the reason that you're here. Why were you put on this planet? Purpose is the driving force behind everything that you do. The thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, other than needing the toilet. Purpose is the lens through which all of your actions should be filtered. Purpose is your decision-making filter. It keeps you from making choices you'll regret like buying cryptocurrency from your dodgy cousin. And finally, purpose is the emotional connection to what matters most to you. And now let's quickly look at why purpose is so important. It will guide you and keep you focused on what's important. It keeps you from accidentally scrolling through TikTok for 6 hours in a Dorito haze. It'll motivate you when the going gets tough. When life gets difficult, your purpose is like Steve Buscemi saying you can do it. It gives you a sense of belonging, fulfillment, and accomplishment, the holy trinity of self-satisfaction. And it'll make you more resilient to setbacks. When life kicks your door in like a SWAT team raiding a Twitch streamer, purpose gives you this metaphorical steel-toed boots to kick back harder. It'll also make your mental health overall better. And everything that I've just mentioned equals true happiness. Trying to achieve happiness without a purpose is like making a cake without the flour. You might end up with something vaguely edible, but it's going to taste like sadness and bad decisions. Purpose is the foundation, the cornerstone. Before I start walking you through finding your own purpose, I want to make it known that there are no right or wrong answers when it comes to your why. Unless of course your why is something like, I want to amass an army of geese and declare war on Sweden. In that case, we may need to circle back a little bit, but for most people, your why is simply whatever lights your soul ablaze. Step 1 is to reflect. If you are following this guide seriously, you need to routinely pause this video and give yourself time to truly follow the exercises. If you try and keep it all in your leaky sieve of a brain, you'll have forgotten it all by the time this video ends. If you truly want to be the best version of you, be serious about it and give it an actual go. You really have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So grab your pen and paper, or if you're feeling a bit avant-garde, you can carve the words into a watermelon with a spoon. First, we begin by reflecting on your life up to now and writing down all of the highlights that come to mind. Think of the times that you've made choices that resonated deeply within you. Think of the times you stood up for someone or something and did the right thing according to your beliefs. Basically, think of all the moments in your life that stick out to you and make you proud to be you. Next, write down your values and beliefs. Use your list of meaningful life moments that you've just written down and extract from them the reasons why they mean so much to you. Be specific. Do you believe in justice, loyalty, empathy, the ethical treatment of sock puppets? Whatever it is, slap it down on that paper like it owes you money. Next, we want to dive even deeper and break those values and beliefs down. Ask yourself, why do you value these things? Why do they matter to you? Are they really yours, or did you accidentally inherit them from Andrew Tate? Finally, think about the legacy you want to leave behind when you're gone. Imagine that you're on your deathbed, surrounded by loved ones who are definitely not thinking about how much their inheritance is going to be. What do you want the people who know you to say about you and remember you for? Do you want to be remembered as a guiding light in their lives, or the person who never remembered to close the fridge properly? Think about the impact that you want to have on the world as a whole, and how you can change it or add to it in your own unique way. Step 2 is to explore your interests. This is where we start poking around in the attic of your soul to see what kind of weird, dusty passions are hiding up there next to your childhood drawings and that haunted Furby that you swore you threw away. I want you to think about everything that you enjoy doing and everything that you're good at. What gets you going? What lights a fire in your belly and makes you think, I can be a valuable member of society and not just a glorified potato? You don't necessarily have to be good at it or enjoy doing it, but it does have to fall under one or the other. You should either be good at it or enjoy doing it, ideally both. Write down every single thing that you're into, no matter how weird, mundane, or potentially incriminating. Knitting tiny sweaters for lizards? Write it down. Memorizing the plot to every Nicolas Cage movie? Write it down. Collecting the souls of your enemies in a jar? Maybe write that one down on a separate piece of paper labelled Do Not Show My Therapist. Now, put your list in order with what sets your heart on fire right at the very top, and the ones that are just kindling right down at the bottom. Step 3 is to identify how you can serve others. So we've reached the Build a Bear workshop for your soul stage. You've got your list of values and passions, and now it's time to smash them together like some kind of mad scientist and see if we can't create a purpose monster out of them. Here, I want you to consider how you can weaponize your strengths and values to help others. Think selflessly, but be slightly smug and self-assured in your abilities. Combine all of your answers so far to create ways in which you could utilize your character in order to serve people. Let me use myself as an example of how I use these exact steps I gave you today to find my very own purpose. Once I had followed this guide and I had my various lists written down, I blended them together and it hit me like a brick wrapped in an epiphany. I could combine my values of empathy, authenticity, and understanding with my unique writing style and my years of research on self-development in order to help those who are struggling like I once was to become the ultimate versions of themselves. And let me tell you firsthand, when I create these videos and content for you, it doesn't feel like a chore at all. My mind fizzes with excitement and exhilaration. My heart races and skips beats. I cannot wait to get started. That's what it's like when you're able to live by your purpose, and I can't wait for you to experience it for yourself. And finally, step 4 is to accept your purpose and live by it. Congratulations, you've made it to step 4. If this guide were a video game, this would be the final boss. If you follow the last 3 steps without getting distracted by memes or falling into a YouTube rabbit hole about conspiracy theories involving dolphins on the moon, then you should have landed on something that speaks to your soul. Not just with a polite whisper, but a full-on, heart-pounding, eardrum-shattering scream. This is it, the sum of your existence, your purpose, the seed of meaning from which your very existence sprouts like a sunflower on steroids. Now, here's what you need to do. Write it down. Yes, with an actual pen, on actual paper. Not on your phone, because we both know you'll accidentally drop it down the toilet at one point and lose it forever. Once it's written, read it aloud. Read it with conviction and emotion. Do this at least once a day, preferably first thing in the morning. If it doesn't make you feel like you could single-handedly overthrow an empire, or at least tackle a Monday, then it's probably not good enough and it's time to go back to the drawing board. Embrace your purpose. Hug it. Cherish it. Take it to dinner and propose to it with a ring made of metaphorical enlightenment. Going forward, align all of your actions and every single choice you make with your purpose. If it doesn't align with your why, then throw it out faster than they threw out the script for the final season of Game of Thrones. Going forward. So what should you do if you've followed these steps and you still don't think you've nailed down your purpose? First off, do not panic. The search for purpose can be a journey, a scavenger hunt across the chaotic wasteland of your day-to-day life. If you're still lost, go on and live your life, but be mindful. Take note of the moments that bring you joy, even if they seem stupid or trivial. These moments are breadcrumbs leading you to the gingerbread house of purpose. Purpose doesn't always hit you like a lightning bolt. So if you aren't there yet, stay alert and take note of your emotions for a few days, then regroup and come back and follow this guide again. Maybe you should subscribe just to make sure you don't lose it. When you find your why, you'll know. So to summarise the whole thing, most people lack purpose and don't realise that they're supposed to have one. Having a purpose is what makes you grow, feel fulfilled, and stop screaming internally every time someone asks, "What do you do for a living?" Purpose provides direction and provides you with a map of where to go next. To find your purpose, reflect on your values, explore your interests, and figure out how to use them to help people. Embrace your purpose and take actions that help you reach it. That's all from the man with a plan today. Thank you very much.
わたた、ネミブブが